All right. What's going on? What's going on? How we doing? So, just recently actually, I took these three trades and I just wanted to go over and review exactly what I was thinking, why I took these trades, and hopefully after this video, you guys kind of get an understanding of how I view the market. And hopefully you can apply it to your own trading so you can find success that way. So, starting out, I noticed a higher time frame PD rate was tapped into. So we're looking at the 1 hour order block right here. So if you look on the daily time frame, we wicked up into that, right? 4 hour, same thing, right? We did close above mean threshold, but we got immediate rejection on the next candle. So that's what I was looking at. We also had an SMT with ES. I'm also in this GU trade right now. It's going pretty well. Little swing trade on the 1 hour. Um, but ES, if you go ahead and look on the 4 hour time frame, you'll notice that we have SMT with this high and this high, or yeah, so wherever you could see it though, right? This high, this high, this high, and that high. Simple. So scale back down, right? I saw immediate rejection off of that. So I knew we'll have some sort of open high, low close, right? Open, high. You could soup that if you want. I didn't. I wasn't even on the charts until like 210. So we ended up getting our displacement below these lows here, right? These lows here as well, right? And if we're looking on ES at the time, it's really good to use in correlation when you're looking at breaking through lows and get a lot of information from it. So if you look here, this low right here, which aligns to this low, at this time was already broken through. So that's already told me that, it looks like price wants to displace lower. We did end up displacing below these equal lows, retrace back into this 2 minute fair value gap. There's a 1 minute and a 2 minute, right? Displacement down through that, right? We get displacement through this low. As you can tell, we obviously have a breaker here as well. And what do you know? Price decides to displace below the low, right? If you're confused about the breaker, right? This is a bullish order block. We break through it, right? Come up and tap perfectly, and tap the body to the tick, right? My entry was on this wick right here, so it got wicked in, came up, tapped OTE of this range here, and immediately started to displace lower. So I got extremely uh, lucky with my TP. I don't know, it was weird. My TP was 877, but this was the order block. This line here is the order block on the 1 hour time frame. So I actually ended up getting taken out of the trade at 887 exactly. So no spread. Basically, I got taken out of the trade there. Boom, it was done. This is where things kind of went not south. Obviously, I did my risk on this trade, and then this second trade that I took, I de-risked extremely because I didn't want to, put more. I didn't want to risk giving my profits back to the market. So basically, we get that failure swing coming down here. Or sorry, this low fails to take or tap that order block. Right. So at that point, I'm thinking maybe we want to run higher. Eventually, I knew we will, but I was hesitant to take this trade of um, just because of that failure to take that order block. So lucky enough, I was tapped out there. I saw this displacement above here, right? We got to change in state of delivery. I entered on the fair value gap, right? I had my stop at this low. Came down, edged it, right? Came back up, came back down, came back up. SMT'd with this high. At that point, I was like, I should probably get out of the trade, but I wanted to stick to my plan. Ended up getting stopped out. Hit the -3 deviation. Finally tapped the order block that I was looking for. Got some nice displacement above this inversion. We got a tap back into the inversion, and that's where I got in. So the second this candle was black, I got in on it. And then obviously we get an expansion higher. We have this breaker here as well, right? We come up, tap this order block here, and this fair value gap, retrace back to internal, tap this breaker perfectly, and rebounds all the way back to the 5-minute gap. It was to the tick. And then if you go ahead and look here as well, if you mark the standard deviation level, you'll see that the 2 to 2.5 level lines up perfectly. And you might be wondering, how do I know if it's going to reverse off of, the 2 to 2.5 or the 3, right? Well, you need to align these deviations and your Fibonacci, range things, or like your price grade swings, sorry. You need to align those with your deviation so you could get an understanding of where the reversal is most, prone to happen, right? So this 2 level is aligned with this 5-minute gap, right? And if you look at the short example that I did, this -3 is aligned with what? Well, mean threshold of this 1-hour order block, right? And also the 1-hour order block. So mean threshold of that order block and the order block. And it aligns with -3, right? So now you can anticipate a reversal. So that's exactly what I saw, right? You can kind of come to the same conclusion here, right? You need to look at price and kind of judge, okay, where can we, you know, where can we judge where this deviation might go, right? There's a lot of different places that it can go. You can look at it from a higher time frame perspective, right? You can look at it from, a lower time frame perspective. So if you go on like a 5-minute, for example, and you kind of look down here, let's say, this isn't going to work, but I'm just giving you a random example. This deviation, right? Obviously doesn't work, but you kind of get an idea. Like, how do I say this? Higher time frame deviations will match up with lower time frame deviations. So like, let's say this was like aligned perfectly with like -3, right? A lower time frame deviation will line up with 2 to 2.5, let's say. Right, so you have this higher time frame deviation marked out, and then a lower time frame deviation marked out, and that'll hit the -2, or like the -1 to 1.5, right? So just align it with whatever you think makes the most sense. Just use logic, right? You understand ICT concepts, at least I hope. Now just apply the logic to it. So, um, yeah, there really isn't much else to what I did on this trade. Uh, but as far as deviations for this reversal, as far as the daily order block and the SMT goes, there really wasn't much else to kind of, the fuck? There really wasn't much else to frame anything off of. Obviously the shorts were clear as day, but I just needed something else. Okay, so this works, right? This manipulation leg, right, into what? Um, that manipulation leg into OTE right here is what you want to mark. And look at that, -3. So it all worked out. And then obviously, if you decided to take a short over here, let me just move this over, show you my trades. Um, so you can look at ESC. Do we have any SMTs? So first off, right, we have our high time frame level, right? We took out this swing high right here. What is this swing high? It's a 5-minute gap, right? Why wouldn't you target the volume imbalance? You could, but there's a 5-minute gap here. All right, look at how precise that exit was. Right, precision is crazy, man. The precision is crazy. I love the precision. Um, so yeah, look for SMTs, right? Let's see. Do we have an SMT? No SMT, but basically I'm just looking for displacement. Right, displacement, I'm looking at different PD rates, right? We have this order block, fuck. We have this order block right here. we do end up breaking through that order block, right? So if you wanted, you could look to frame your entry within equilibrium, right? So you could potentially put your entry, what, let's see, it's pretty sloppy, but I mean, it makes the most sense in this gap, either entering on this gap, this change of state delivery, or yeah, the best entry you probably could have gotten is this change of state delivery tap, fair value gap, breaker, right? And then if you align your standard deviation with this, what else do you notice? Or you have this leg here, but you could also use like this leg, for example, right? 2 to 2.5. So that works. Now looking at a higher time frame, where are we drawing towards? Well, now, well, we're SMTing with this low right now, so we're just gonna see how we react. But so far, great Monday, great start to the Monday. If you guys have any questions about these trades that I took, let me know, and I'll make sure to answer those. If you want to learn how to trade, I have a free community. If you guys want to join that, I have a whole bunch of education in there. It's pretty new right now, so it's not as active as I want it to be, but you guys can obviously change that. Um, I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to succeed. That's basically my goal. Right? I learned this. I got really good at it, so now I want to teach other people. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Um, the link to my Discord is in my bio. You find my link tree, you can find everything in there. So yeah, that is all. I also have a video that I'm going to post, the live trade, so you can see the executions and all that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.